13 uploading. I hope it should be here. I don't see it. I don't see anything. Where's my freaking videos, idiot? Shut up, fag. Sissy. Alright. Quiet, Chris, I'm at the rat. You're a witchy witch, that is. Yes. The sun is popping up now. Alright, let's see. Okay. A statement by Rick Rubin, and we're gonna look at it again. That's an awesome statement by what they call a pioneer in the industry of rap music. What they call a pioneer was like a patriarch of rap music. Rick Rubin, see if it's still here, I'm gonna document it. And there's one statement here from 2 days ago, and that's awesome that they're in service to the policia more than to the audience. That's a banging statement, dude. You know what? That's a good statement. I gotta fix my watch real quick. I hope it stays there. Like I hope people pin it there and keep it there, because that's a very important statement. I would never tell you what to do, but I hope this stays there as long as possible, and for the world to see the work, a craft, the policia, all that stuff. So the industry serves that, the Roman Eagle, the empire. So I praise God for this statement, and I think that might be the biggest statement ever I think that's the realest thing ever written. That's the realest thing I think ever written in hip hop. So let me see. I wanted to get some background and specific hip hop artists. I wanted to go to this album right here too, and just some background information that I remember this album and Raising Hell. Let's see. You know, because I want to show the kids what Peter Piper, It's Tricky, and man, Raising Hell. You know, it's kind of scary to really 1986, and I was almost 8 years old. It's kind of scary to really wonder what this really is. It's tricky, tricks and trapping, and Adidas, Peter Piper's. Let's see, what was the other things on the oh yeah. Let's see. The Beastie Boys. So they came out with Raising Hell and Beast Boys. This one, we had this one in 1986 too. We had this one, Raising Hell, and Commercials Wars of Disney. I had that one, the Beastie, and I think it was it going into the mountain or something? Airplane crashes. Song on here that says girls to clean up the room, to do the laundry, girls to it's kind of like sexist, girls to be a slave basically. It's like a girl slave song. It's called Girls, ding 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 ding. Oh, girls, dun 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 dun. And I'm just saying, what hip hop started as like this is what we heard in '86. We had these tapes, 1986. Did I get this one? Basically what I'm doing is showing the young people who he is as a credible witness, as a credible person. Like who's Rick Rubin? Rick Rubin goes all the way back to the 80s and with these artists. And the Beastie Boys, and I have to say boys because But I did prayers for everybody already. Um, and blessings. But for the title's sake, I'm saying the Beast is in there. So Beast Boys, and then Run DMC raising. They wanted to raise hell or something like that. And LL Cool J, he did a radio. Okay. So the whole thing was about a takeover, really, honestly. They're basically using that for a takeover. Hip hop has always been a takeover. Let's see. Bad. This one. And bad, like I'm saying, being bad. And that looks like what was that? Looks like honestly, it always looks like a cemetery. It's creepy. Andrew Jackson, high school in Queens. Oh, that's cool. But that's like creepy. That's so creepy. Maybe it's supposed to be maybe it's supposed to be like cemetery-ish. You know what I'm saying? Resurrecting dead people or something. Nevertheless, I mean, look at it. It's dark. Shoot. LLC business. LL Cool Eyes, Owls. I never realized that. And Satanism, like LLC. Business, basically, it says allowed by the state, by state statute. IRS, Roman Eagle. State law. Business. Our business. So did I get this one? And so you see the message, you see the symbolism and all what's been going on, what they've been associated with all these years, and the secrecy. It was the stupiders right in my face many times. Not in my face, but I'm saying like before my eyes, where I could see. And yet they're involved in this Satanism of the state this whole time. You know what I'm saying? And they lying saying that they're going to steal heaven, but the pioneer, Rick Rubin, who brought this out in '86, I was 8, and then Stupider was 12, and he was already doing something because he was trying to touch my belly button in first grade. He kept touching my belly button. I'm like, it was annoying. I wanted to smack him, choke him out. And he was, when I was 6, he was 10. Nevertheless, I could do it because I was so strong. And my brother said, stop, leave him alone. But he's a pesterer, dude. He was a pesterer. And I had to check that when I grew. When I grew, I was nice, but they pretend to be Christians, but now look, they rapists and child molesters for the cult, the owl cult. Look at, they all rapists, molesters for the program of the state of Nazis. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's bad news for them, but for those. biographical album of this artist. Again, this artist of the Beastie Boys, Run DMC, DMX, and they're raising hell and doing this. It's a takeover of the kids. Basically, this was to help take over the kids' brains and corrupt the kids into Satanism, and that's what it is. And who's that one dude who always talks about rap music? This person who is probably controlled opposition with the Mark of the Beast because they got the letters G. Craig Lewis, and talks about hip hop, but yet the letters. You know what I'm saying? Mark of the Beast and all that stuff. Anyways, so yeah, there are people who have been talking about secrecy and things like that over the years for anybody who's I mean, nowadays the kids have access to the Mark of the Beast. Nowadays kids are all connected in the network, in matrix computer chip implant networks in their brain and their eyeballs. But for those who are not on the inside of this, yeah, you could probably maybe find some people on YouTube talking about secrecy of hip hop industries and witchcraft and Satanism. Maybe not, and maybe not. But nevertheless, just look at the albums and what hip hop stands for. And hip hop is a takeover of the kids' minds, just like rock and roll and Footloose. And with Kevin Bacon, speaking of Kevin Bacon did a movie called Footloose. Kick off your Sunday shoes. They were rebellious kids, church kids. This movie right here. This movie, in Footloose, Kevin Bacon, Bacon Piggies, points you to the pigs, to the work that they've been, how do you say it? He said, they're in service to the police and Bacon Piggies. They're in service to piggies, bacon, and not necessarily, not the audience. They don't serve the audience, but what the police tell them to serve, Satan. And the police are Satanists, so they serve Satanism to the kids. Hell, raising hell, Beastie Boys, bad, and something real dark like wrought iron fence, a green school, green yellow school, all LLC, business of the state, and witchcraft, yellow antichrist, and owl eyes, and LLC, cool or cold. You know, there goes crystal meth again, all that stuff. You know, it's just weird how it just goes in circles. And so Kevin Bacon did this movie, which was rebellion against the church. And the kids didn't want to listen, they wanted to dance to worldly music. Michael McCormick, Kevin Bacon Piggies, a Chicago teen who I think Poopy Head says he's from Chicago, who moves to a small conservative town, Beaumont Mountains, where dancing and rock and music are banned by the local minister. Okay. And there's the letters again: John, Lithgow, Gals, Going, Lilith, Goyim is Satanism, Lilith and Michael Aquino, Satanism, and military, and here for the boy, here for the goy. they fight against the preacher, or some kind of struggle against morality. They fight against the church preacher so that they can sing and dance to worldly music. So it's witchcraft, Satanism. Of 1984, possibly, I think it was that year. So Kevin Bacon was already doing this. And how old is he? 84. And he was born in 58. So 64, 84, just 20, plus 6. Possibly he was 26 years old when he did that movie. Yeah, it's a 26-year-old man. As a 26-year-old man, he was corrupting the kids and not preaching to the kids. You know what I'm saying? As a 26-year-old man, he was corrupting the kids with his movie. So, let's see what else we got. Going back to the list of rappers. And once again, that's a powerful statement. Very appreciated. And, man, that's a big deal, dude. That's a win. That's like a load off. I can feel a load off me, off my heart. I feel like a load off my heart. Like it feels like a win. It feels like freedom. It feels like vindication. Let's see. So, Ghetto Boys. There's Minds Playing Tricks on. Remember that song? I don't know if he was involved in that album, but let me see what album that was. Not sure if he was still with the company, but let me see what their first album was, maybe. Ghetto Boys. Def American Records. Oh, okay. So he was working with them, and okay, got it. Ghetto Boys being arrested. Ghetto Boys, and then I think that's good. $99 Pong, but that's another. Yeezus is close to Jesus, so that's a satanic antichrist, really. That's like taking the Lord's name, Yay, Jesus. So that's Antichrist. Walking on Water, Eminem, that might be blasphemy, calling someone else the water. Mac Miller, production of Dark Creation Swimming. That's what this is. Okay, so I'm going to post this and Public Enemy, and they took the mark of the beast, and now I see it's Public Enemy, an enemy to the public. Hip hop music is an enemy to the public. Wow, it's bad for you, dude. Everything's bad for you. That's not gospel. And even gospel preaching, it has to be on point even. display to the public. Licensed. There's that word again, LLC. These are the letters. LLC. Being licensed by the state to do this. So they don't just let anybody rap. They'll take you out, because if rap music, according to them, it has to be sponsored by the state. Wow, dude. What the heck? I was thinking about that for the last couple of years, how these people could say anything. Brother Lynch Hung talking about baby nuts and guts and all this stuff. You guys remember 90s? Brother Lynch Hung talking about baby nuts and guts and things like that. I'm like, how can they say something like that? And some people can't just do what they want or say what they want. It's because the LLC being licensed, the letters being licensed by the government. Wow. So that's what, and so they hide behind the government. The government's doing this. He says they're serving the government. Yeah, it's a project. It's a project. You gotta ask them, but who really started hip hop? You know what I'm saying? I mean, I know there's rappers and stuff, rapping and stuff, but who really started the industry? Who really started that business and discovered hip hop and decided to use it and against the kids? Wow. Just so I'm gonna read this real quick. The LLC Limited Liability Company is a legal business structure that protects your personal assets from business debts and lawsuits. A business license is the permit issued by the local state governments that grants you the legal permission to operate your business in the specific jurisdiction. Do they go together? Yes, it says, do you need a business license to have an LLC? In other words, is the LLC connected to having a license to business? Yes. So just for the record, LLC, letters, license, two different things but connected in letters and usage by the state. And in this case, talking about satanic music takeover.